Bo gets a huge buff. Crow is, well, crying in the corner. And Tick, well, he's just bored out of his mind. We got 3 new star powers. Which one should you buy? Let's find out. Hey everyone, what's happening? Lex back today for another Brawl Stars video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the 3 brand new star powers that are going to be coming into the game very soon. I'm going to tell you which one that you should really look to buy, and the other 2, well, you either just pass on them or maybe get lucky in a box and then feel somewhat glad that you got a star power. First, let's take a look at Tick's new star power, which I applaud you Brawl Stars for the pun, an Automa-Tick Reload. But the actual star power, it's just really boring. It's not bad, it's so uninteresting. So, as you can see, Tick's reload time is 15% shorter. That means he reloads 15% faster. I don't know how else I can say that to make it interesting, because it's not. But it's not horrible. But first, let's take a look at the 2 of them. As you can see, on the left, we have got Automa-Tick Reload, and on the right, we have Well-Oiled. And as you can see, it's pretty clear that Automa-Tick Reload is reloading faster. It's no big surprise there. It's not a huge deal, but it is 15%, and that's pretty decent. But how about Well-Oiled? Where does it shine? This one actually kind of blew me away. If you sit here and look at this little bot that shoots you, because Tick's second star power, he heals him up so fast that between shots, he is actually gaining a tick of health back before the bot can shoot again, meaning that with automatic reload, you die like 3 times in the same time it takes Well-Oiled to die once. Now here's what it means for you. With automatic reload, yes, you can get off an extra shot every probably couple of ammo bars, because you get about half of one for every 3 full ones. So for every 3 full reloads, you get 1 extra shot. That's good. You get an extra shot that does extra damage if you land all 3, which probably is not going to happen. Mainly, you're just helping to hold off some area control, but you get an extra shot every couple of full ammo bars. That's something. However, with Well-Oiled, you can stay in the fight way longer. If you just fall, if you take a little bit of damage, you can fall back and you almost instantly start to heal back up. You can get back in there and get a lot more than 1 extra shot off in the same time as if you died with automatic reload. So I don't see how anybody would really choose automatic reload over Well-Oiled. Well-Oiled is a really, really good star power, and you should be using it if you have the choice between the 2. So my suggestion for you all is pass on Automa-Tick Reload. As cool as the pun is, nice name Brawl Stars, but it's just a very boring, uninteresting, and not that great star power, especially when it's compared to Well-Oiled. So grab Well-Oiled, stay in the fight longer, keep more pressure on your opponents, heal up faster, you're going to die less, you're going to cause more pressure. It is just a better star power across the board. Now let's go over what I think is the best star power of all 3 of these new ones, and that is Bo and his new star power, Snare. As you can see here, instead of a knockback, Bo's traps now stun the enemy for 2 seconds. So you don't get the knockback, so it doesn't like momentarily pause them, but it pauses them, it stuns them for 2 full seconds. Think of it as like 3 mini Frank stuns on a mine. It is actually really, really good. Now, if we take a look at him here, as you can see, Bo here on the left with his new star power and his old star power on the right, Circling Eagle. Clearly, if you're in a bush-heavy map, you're going to get a lot more use out of Circling Eagle. It's going to provide you and your team a lot more visions. There are a lot of different ways that you can use this, and it is going to be good in almost all the game modes. Not only here on Snake Prairie, you can see 2 of them died to the explosion, but I wouldn't have gotten that last barley had I not used the Snare because it stunned him in place, held him there long enough for me to go up there and kill him. Places like Gem Grab, when you see teams go for the gems or people clump up, you can completely hammer a team, and it's not going to be just you most likely. Your other teammates are going to be around as well, and if they see somebody stunned, well, they're going to wail on them as well. So if you get stunned by Snare, chances are you're going to die really quick. So it's almost like almost a guaranteed death if you die, if you get caught in that Snare in the middle of the game. It's really, really strong. Some of the other really cool things, like in Brawl Ball here, you can bait out the ball by like kicking the ball and then throwing some mines on top of it. Now this may not work at higher level trophies, but some of the mid-range trophies, you're gonna see people swarming towards the ball. They're gonna, if they didn't see you drop your mines, they're gonna run into them. Bam, they're gonna get stuck. You've got the ball. I could have killed the Jessie there. I went ahead and just decided to kick it in. I mean, they're just bots, so it's not like we're playing anything special here. Don't get me wrong. But I think Snare Bear is going to be a very, very good star power. And my recommendation for you is that unless you're playing like Snake Prairie or maybe like Cavern Churn, maybe Feast or Famine, I would definitely recommend that you pick up Snare Bear because I think it's just going to be all around a more versatile and well-used star power. Now for the last one, Crow. He gets a star power called Carrion Crow. What it does is Crow deals 100 more damage with his attack and super to targets with 50% or less health. So let's think of it this way. Let's say your target has a 5,000 hit point health pool. They currently have 2,500 health, which means they are at 50% health. At that point, your each dagger will deal 100 more damage per dagger, so up to 300 more damage per shot if you land all three. As well as the poison ticks, instead of 105 at max level, they will deal 130, so 25 more per tick because they tick 4 times, giving yourself an extra 100 damage. So in total, you can get 400 more damage if you land all 3 and all 4 poison ticks hit. And they are at 50% health. That's a lot of qualifiers. Here's what normally happens when you're playing Crow. You're sitting back at a range, poking at the enemy, maybe hitting 1, if you're lucky 2 daggers. You're never going to really hit 3 you're not going to hit 3 at range unless it's spread out on different targets. It's definitely not going to be on the same target. So if they're at above 50% health, there's no difference. You're just playing Crow as normal. If they're below 50% health, then you get a little bit extra damage. Let's say you're hitting one dagger, which is pretty common. You get an extra 100 damage and then another 100 damage if all the poisons tick off. So 200 damage, and that's it. To say that I'm disappointed is an understatement. This is a very, very lackluster star power, and to make matters worse, his other star power is just average as well. It's also very boring. His other star power makes when the enemies are inflicted with your poisons, they deal 10% less damage with all their attacks. That's actually pretty good. It's just really... It's not flashy whatsoever, but if you think about 10% of damage across an entire match for every enemy that you have poisoned, that's actually negating a ton of damage on your team, and that's a good thing. That's really useful, but it's not great. It's just okay. Here's what really disappoints me, is we're seeing star powers come into the game like Screeching Solo, Snappy Sniping, shall I say Band-Aid, and some other really good star powers.
Coiled Snake is the best, Joe. You better recognize.
Yeah. Rub it in, dig it. Rub it in. Yes, Coiled Snake as well. Really OP. Now, I grant you that those star powers are probably overpowered, and they will probably get a nerf at some point. However, Crow's a legendary. Crow is really weak in the meta right now. There's almost nowhere you can play him besides Showdown and do decent. He's just not a great option on most things. So I was really hoping that he was going to get a super awesome star power, and I am just really disappointed. Now, granted, my disappointment is probably greater than maybe yours. Maybe you don't even have Crow. Here's the kicker, is that when I read the patch notes, this was a long time ago, I saw Crow star power, and for some reason in my head, I thought it said 100%, not 100 damage. So I thought that he was just going to be a wrecking ball when you were at 50% or lower health. That might have been slightly strong. Band-Aid. But it was not that insane, I didn't think, and I thought, okay, finally, Crow's gonna get something that's gonna make him viable. It's going to make him a really good brawler in a lot of different situations, and that's just not the case. So my suggestion for you guys is flip a coin, man. Close your eyes and press a button, because I don't think either one of these star powers is a game changer. I think that if it was me, I would probably still choose Extra Toxic, because you're helping your team pretty passively, and the only time you're going to get full value out of Carrion Crow is if you're jumping in on a target. But here's the kicker with that, is that you usually only jump in on a target as Crow is if you know that you can kill them. So you're going to jump in on them, burst out all 3 of your shots as quick as possible, and hope that they're dead by then. Well, you're going to get the most of your damage right up there in front, so you'll probably get 1 full shot. So 300 damage on the target, and then maybe 1 poison tick, but they're pretty much going to be dead by that point. So your star power, your new fancy star power that you either bought for 2,000 coins, which I probably will, but only because I have 100,000 coins, is going to net you another 300 damage when you're jumping in on a target. Maybe 400 damage. Okay. All right. Well played, Brawl Stars. Well played. So, just as a final recap, Bo's new star power, Snare Bear, definitely get it if you can. If you see it in the shop and you've got the coins, buy it. It is worth it. It is good. Ticks, no. Go ahead and pass on that one because it's just not as good as well-oiled. It's not bad, but it's not great like well-oiled. And Carrion Crow for Crow, again, if you get it in a box, cool. Or if you just have an excess amount of gold, go ahead and pick it up, but I wouldn't suggest going out of your way to get it because it's rather lackluster as well. So that's the brand new 3 star powers that are coming into the game. Look for them here in a couple days. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out. Why, Crow? Why? Come on, Brawl Stars. You know, if you guys want to make me feel better, go ahead and watch some more videos. They're right over there, or subscribe right up there. That'll definitely brighten my day, but not excited for Crow. If you like Bo, though, that's a good choice.